This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
This Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop Convention and Ranger Stop and Pop. Have you ever wanted to see all your favorite Power Rangers together in one epic convention? Go to Ranger Stop! Ranger Stop and Pop! August 27th to the 29th, 2021! Atlanta, Georgia! Ranger Stop 8! November 11th to the 14th! Orlando, Florida! Get your tickets now! Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Simple curiosity tries to take a bite of me. Let me show you just what I'm made of. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the review of Sonic Heroes. I'm just kidding. It's Kamen Rider Saber. Yeah, unfortunately, my co-host is unavailable once again because personal family matter. I'm not going to go into it, so you're stuck with me once again. But good news is this episode was amazing, like really amazing, and I'm going to be able to talk about it tonight because welcome to Morphin Network's Rider Time podcast. Today we're reviewing Kamen Rider Saber, episode 40. Shining Friendship of the Three Swordsmen. And oh my god, a lot of stuff happened. Like a lot of stuff. I'm Time Rider Zero, your host, and what do you guys think of the episode? What do you guys think will happen next? Write in the comments because I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. But I have to say, this episode was like playing the Metal Madness in Sonic Heroes, which is arguably one of the best Sonic games ever made. Anywho. By the way, I hope all of you had a chance to attend Power Morphicon online because a bunch of us got to host a panel. Dagger Boy hosted the Ninja Storm reunion panel. I hosted the voice actor panels for both Jungle Fury and Dino Charge. So I hope you get, if you haven't already, hope you have a chance to check those out. But for now, let's get right to it. So where we left off, first of all, intro by Tassel. Yeah, he's like on an umbrella flying through the sky, presumably looking for Luna while he's doing the intro. And the only reason I'm drawing attention to this now is because Chekhov's gun. Meanwhile, Isaac, yes, I actually said his name, his actual name this time. So Isaac, he is very livid about losing his previous fight. So he emphasizes the urgency of having to find Luna in order to complete his master plan. Meanwhile, the Shindai siblings, they're ready to leave the southern base one last time. But before they could head out, they hear an ominous voice in the room, and it's a Kamen Rider Solomon ready to challenge them one more time. He fires a crimson attack against them, but Ryoga takes the blunt of the attack. What this causes to happen is that now he lost full control of his body, and now he's being forced to attack Reika in his Durandal form. Meanwhile, the other riders in the northern base realize that we're almost at the end game. We have to fight Master Logos, but we have to find and save Luna. So we have to get going. But before Yuri can head out, Kento gives the Sword of Darkness to Yuri, saying that that take good care of it. This is a memento of my dad, but also the sword is the most powerful when it's with you, as demonstrated a few episodes ago. So yeah, take good care of it. So I like that he's no longer an edgelord, as mentioned in the previous episode, but I still take a little bit of issue in the fact that I still wish that May was a Spada, so May got robbed. May got very robbed. May was robbed horribly, just like how Amy Rose was robbed when they made Sonic Adventure 2. But moving on with the plot, Master Logos. Damn it! 10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes. Okay. So Isaac is in Wonderworld, and he wants to make sure that he gets to Luna first. So in order to keep Victor from interfering, he summons a giant hand, and he just knocks him away while he's still in that umbrella from the opening scene. Which, again, Chekhov's gun, you gotta love continuity. But before the other swordsmen could head out, Sophia, she does get the willies, saying that Master Logos Isaac is out and about and he's causing trouble. But before they could deploy, they receive a smoke projection of Reika asking for help because she is in a fight to the death with her brother. And of course, Luna is being chased away. Is being chased by Master Logos' chased by Isaac's hand. But while Reika is severely overwhelmed against Durandal, thankfully Tetsuo and Ogami do step in to help even the odds, and the battle ensues in the southern base. Meanwhile, the other riders, the main three riders, Kanto, Rintaro, and Toma, try to chase after Master Logos, but using his force push ability, he's able to knock them all back. But thankfully, just before his hand could grab Luna, Yuri, using both swords, is able to destroy the giant arm. Of course, Yuri gets instantly washed by Solomon, and he just claims both swords. And here I'm like, man, I really hope that Kento doesn't hold it against Yuri, because he's like, I gave you the sword to take good care of it, and right in front of me, Isaac has claimed my father's sword. Anyways, but there's not enough time. To worry about that, though. So naturally, while being attacked by Solomon, the three riders do transform into their most up-to-date forms, and this looks very beautiful. And this is where I bring up Sonic. This is why I bring up Sonic Heroes, is because you ever notice how in Sonic Heroes the three main characters are blue, red, and yellow, but when Sonic becomes Supersonic, the other two don't go super, so you basically have two yellow characters and one red character. So here you have two blue characters and one yellow character. So that's kind of interesting. But still, hey, we're not just heroes. We're Sonic heroes. Of course, they use such amazing combination moves. Like they practically hit the Z button on their GameCube controller. By the way, they've been able to fight Solomon off. They even got Blades and Saber holding off the two swords while a Spot attacks from behind, which is amazing. And of course, they use their combined attack in order to demorph Solomon. Meanwhile, Tassel finally catches up to Luna, and he's ready to tell her what's going on. The secret about her role in the story is about to be revealed. Meanwhile, the two riders are fighting desperately to fight against Durandal. So you know they're not doing so hot, but they're not doing so poorly either. They're still holding their ground, which is great. Meanwhile, back at the main fight, Solomon uses the power of the twin swords in order to create a black hole. But the heroes manage to cancel it out by using their combined slash attack, which, by the way, kind of reminds me of a little bit of gameplay footage involving Kamen Rider Climax Hero 7 on someone's Twitch channel. Just saying. And of course, yes, this does cause him to demorph. But yeah, given the fact that Isaac is not one for losing fair and square, he plays dirty by using the same Crimson Mist that he used on Durandal to get Kento and Rintaro to turn on him. Naturally, despite trying desperately to resist their bodies' actions, they are forced to fight Toma, and he's handling it pretty well, fighting wise. And of course, Tassel reveals the secrets behind the secrets behind Luna's existence. See, she isn't just in Wonderworld. She isn't just a bridge to Wonderworld. She is Wonderworld. And of course, this also means that because of the fact that she chose Toma to be her herald, it means that Toma will have to live his entire existence inside Wonderworld in order to keep it safe. Of course, this does mean that Luna and Toma will be able to spend eternity together, but that also means that Toma's friends are no longer able to see him. Naturally, Luna hates this idea because while she does want to be with Toma, she hates the idea that he'll be separated from his friends, and she doesn't want them to feel sad either. So, is there some kind of compromise, some Deus Ex Machina sort of thing at the end? We're gonna have to wait a few episodes to find out. But nevertheless, I'm starting to think that Tassel, or aka Victor, might have been the original chosen one, like the one before Toma. So that's why he's always in Wonderworld, because he was the one chosen by the previous bridge of two worlds. And so Toma is basically going to become the next Tassel. That's the kind of impression I'm getting out of this. Moving back to the fight, Solomon mocks Toma that he will have to fight his two friends and possibly even kill them just to keep them from killing him. Also, Rintaro, like what's it like being betrayed by the organization you fought so hard to support? And Kento, what's it like knowing that the reason your dad dies is because he was tricked by me into betraying the Sword of Logos? Naturally, Kento gets flashbacks of his father, and feeling angered by it, he starts to resist the body control, and tries to go up against Solomon. Meanwhile, Rintaro freezes his own body in order to keep himself from fighting Toma. Of course, now that he's essentially paralyzed, I just saved myself. Solomon uses the two-sworded cross slash in order to attack Kento, but Toma intervenes because power of friendship will set us free. But given the fact that didn't work on them, this definitely will. So he uses the paralysis attack that Kento used on Solomon a few episodes earlier, while using the Sword of Light as a boomerang in order to cut all three of them down. Meanwhile, the other two riders get overwhelmed by Durandal, but thankfully, the love of his little sister was able to help Ryoga slowly resist his body control. So what's his name? Isaac. I'm trying really hard to use the proper name. Uses a finishing move. Tries to use a finishing move on the other three riders. By using their combined abilities, they're able to negate it, and then naturally using the power of Sonic Heroes, they bequeath Toma their Wonderite books. Yes, we're finally getting that form that we've been waiting a whole season to see. Dragon, Lion, Aladdin. Yes. This is a Sonic Heroes moment right here. This is literally Metal Madness from the game. Like right when he opened the three books, I was like, simple curiosity tries to take a bite of me. Let me show you just what I'm made of now. And then while a hailstorm of Caliborgs are falling down on them, we get Brave Dragon, Lion Senki, and Aladdin, all in their blue state from the cross saber, like all fighting off every single sword raining down, like it's freaking Dante from Devil May Cry, when he was like cutting all the raindrops that was falling over him. Oh my god, that was so beautiful. And we finally see Kamen Rider Saber cross featuring form. And this is so beautiful. This is a real Sonic Heroes moment, and I love it. Oh man, I just don't have the words to describe how beautiful this costume looks. It looks even more beautiful than the cross Crimson Knight form. Oh, and he has the power of all three riders. So they're able to make a series of sword projections to counter all the Caliborg sword projections, but also he used the powers of the other two riders. So we got Lion Senki as like a support character while he's riding a magic carpet. He's riding the magic carpet. It's like I remember in Sonic Riders. There's a hidden gear that you can only unlock by beating the main story, like both Sonic story and Babylon story, where you end up getting a magic carpet, because the original gears were hoverboards. They're called gears. Were invented by the Babylon rogues, the original Babylon rogues, and they were able to hunt all the world's treasure by using the highly sophisticated, advanced, ancient technology, such as flying gardens and apparently magic carpets. But yeah, so this is a Sonic Riders moment right here, and it's beautiful. So naturally, by using the power of their friendship, they're able to take out Solomon. And while he's not down and out yet, there's only one thing left to do. You gotta rider kick him. And yes, Toma does something we almost never see in the show. He does a rider kick. The main rider almost never rider kicks this season, but it's beautiful that we finally see it here. Naturally, he destroys the Omniforce Wonderite book, causing Isaac to demorph, and naturally he tries to escape while severely bruised and battered. But because the Omniforce book was destroyed, that also means that Ryoga was able to escape from the body controlled spell that was used on him. So they were able to save Ryoga in time. And I'm telling, and the thing is, this whole subplot about Ryoga being body controlled and Reika having to team up with Tetsuo and Ogami in order to save him. This is a great plot. My only question is, why didn't you use that earlier, like episode 37? That would have been much more satisfactory. Just saying. It would have been greater. It would have been better if this happened at least 5 episodes earlier. Just saying. So naturally, the 3 main writers celebrate by crossing their swords, and of course, May grabs a giant stick to join them. And I'm thinking, Yuri's right there. Can't he just turn into a sword and then have May hold him? Because he's part of the team as well. I guess Yuri isn't gonna get any love. All he's good for is blocking other people's attacks, so that he and then being trapped inside a sword form for a whole episode. He's basically Kenny that way. Yeah, if you think about it, Yuri is basically Kenny of the show. Meanwhile, Isaac is battered and bruised, but he's not out yet because the Omniforce book can regenerate, and he swears that he will become God. But Storius shows up and he says, no, your story is over. And he just straight up disintegrates him. And he grabs his book and walks off, having now become the new Master Logos. And that's where the episode ends. Oh my God. This episode. Yes! This is what I wanted to see. Okay. I'm going to go into my score. In the meantime, be sure to comment what you guys thought of the episode and what you guys think will happen moving forward from the story. First things first. I predicted that episode 40 or 41 is when they finally defeat Master Logos Isaac. They finally defeat Isaac in either episode 40 or 41 because you got to show off all the forms of the cross saber. And the reason why I thought 40 or 41 is because, one, the issue with it being 41 episodes is because it would be too repetitive. Where he gets a new form, defeats Isaac. Isaac comes back, gets a new form, defeats Isaac again. It would be too repetitive, so I'm glad they stopped at 3 instead of doing 4 episodes. On the other hand, the reason why they could have done it in 41 episodes is because there's still one more sub form for Cross Saber, and that's the Arthur form, Cross Arthur. Now, honestly, I'm glad that they stopped right here because one, how do you top featuring Cross Saber? And 2, this was just so great. And this gives us more time to deal with disaster and stories because, like I said earlier, episodes 42 and 43 should deal with disaster, while 44 through 46 will finish the story off from there. Now, given the fact that we finished an episode earlier, that means we could do 2 things. Either disaster subplot, which I'm guessing is going to start next episode, given the fact that he still has Falcon's sword. Either disaster will have 3 episodes for his plot, or he'll still only have 2 episodes, but stories will now have 4 episodes instead of 3. Or it'll still be 3 episodes, but then the last episode will be some epilogue that is just like after the cutoff, like Kamen Rider Double or Drive. Yeah, Double or Drive, something in that ballpark. I hope that's not the case. I love it when the story wraps up on the last episode instead of the penultimate episode. And if you are going to do it in the last episode, do it in a way that actually supports story. I'm not a fan of the way Kuga ended. Just saying. Let's see. Back to the actual episode, though. Choreography, amazing. Plot development, amazing. Characterization, amazing. I love that we are getting more of Tassel having an active role in the story. I love that we actually got more revelations as to what's going on with Luna. I love that we're finally understanding why Toma will have to sacrifice himself and why people are trying to avoid it. I love that story is finally getting some plot progression. And possibly in the next episode, we're actually going to find out why he's evil. Probably. Who knows? Let's see. I love that Reika is actually being more cooperative with the Northern Riders, but I wish, there was more of her being more physically active with Northern Riders beyond just, I just got my butt kicked. I need you to bail me out. Like I actually want to see Buster / and Saber like together, all three of them together, fighting at the same time in their morphed Kamen Rider suits against an enemy. Like I want to see collaboration, not just can you give me a mulligan. That is just the one complaint. But I love the way they were collaborating. This is what I wanted to see earlier on. I wanted Reika to have a babyface turn, and she would have to fight her brother. And honestly, if her brother decided to babyface turn as well, but ended up taking a hit where he would end up becoming evil against his will, that still worked for me. That still works for me. It's like Blake and Hunter from Ninja Storm. Where that gas is about to attack Blake, but then Hunter like pushes him aside to take the blunt of it. So now he's like all evil, and then Blake has to team up with the Wind Ninjas in order to save Hunter. I like that. I really do. And I wish they went with that in episode 36, but they didn't. That's my one issue there. So I'm glad we're getting this happening. I just wish they did it a little bit earlier. As far as Kento being more collaborative, we don't see it as much this episode, but at least it's there. And I love that choreography-wise, they actually do show them working together. They are a cohesive team. I appreciate that, even though they haven't actually been together for a while. And yeah, that's featuring Saber form. Tre magnifique, molto bano, subarashi, очень rad это видеть. And so I give this episode a 10 out of 10 because a lot of constructive things got accomplished here. I just hope that they can actually wrap this up in a total of 46 episodes in a way that doesn't feel rushed. Like I said, there's 6 episodes left in my own headcanon. I hope that there's exactly 46 episodes. I know usually there's 50 episodes, but sometimes there's 47 episodes for some reason. Last year there was 45 episodes. Here, I want it to be exactly 46 episodes, given the pacing of the show and how much is left for there to be done. There's only, I can't see it being more than just 6 more episodes to go. And I really hope that they pace those 6 episodes well. And yeah, like I said, let's get Disaster out of the way for a good 2 episodes. Let's hope that this ends really well. Like, I hope he doesn't just become a 2-episode monster of the day, but he has actual significance given how much they've been building up this character for the last 40 episodes. And then finish things off with Storius right then and there and call it a day and start watching Kamen Rider Revised the following week. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so what do you guys think of the episode? Let's go into the comments. Comments time. Remember, Facebook, YouTube, we're doing this live, so I'm reading your comments as we are streaming. So, let's see. We got a version of a form I have been waiting to see since like episode 2, when I noticed the trio's transformation books are all different slots. Yes, I even pointed out something way back in episode 9 where all 3 writers are mythical creature, animal, stories like fairy tales, while the 3 villains are Legio, Zoos, Storius. So and I also appreciate that for 2 of them they actually were defeated by their respective writers. Like Legio was defeated by Toma. Zoos was defeated by Rintaro. I don't know how they're gonna make it for Storius to be defeated by Kento, especially if he's gonna be the main villain. But given the fact that Gaim essentially ends with Michi becoming the main character at the end, like the tertiary writer is now the main character. You know, I can see that happening, but they have to do a dang good job writing that. Okay, L'Oreal writes, "Hi there." Kuma gives it a 10 out of 10. The fights were killer. Yeah. Um, you saw Kamen Rider Falcon and you think it's disaster. Yeah, it's definitely disaster because he's got the sword, he's got the power. Primary color trio back. See, for me, I don't like calling that primary color because to me, primary colors are red, green, blue, not red, blue, yellow. Just saying. I'm more of a science guy than an art guy, even though I'm actually both. Let's see. About all I said about the Shindais previously, you take it all back. Good. We're getting some progress done. You even forgive them for what they did to Toma. Okay. May was robbed. Yes, May was very robbed. Tassels, Mary Poppins. Yeah. Oh man, I have some hilarious convention stories to tell. Poor Luna. Good thing other writers kept Isaac away from her. Yes, very good that they kept them away. Weren't the trio on their game or what? Did they battle? So cool. Yeah, battle was really cool. Wonder what Luna's going to do about the situation about Toma leaving. I don't know. I mean, knowing the show, they're probably going to find some Deus Ex Machina way of making it all work out. Toma was totally on his game in the battlefield. Triple hearts. Too bad it's not possible, but after how he and his friends won the battle, Toma totally deserves a kiss. Of course you think he deserves a kiss. Kanto's book is called, yeah, but the thing is, we all know that it's based off of Aladdin, like what's it called? The story of Aladdin and the genie, and you got the 40 Thieves and the 1001 Arabian Nights. I like those stories, to be honest. But in the West, the only mainstream adaptations we have is Disney's Aladdin, and I don't know, like the third one was pretty good though. I had on VHS back in the day, but the live action film was garbage. If you remember an anime called Mushirambo or Shinzo, I've watched Shinzo. Depending on where you were, then you've watched it. That is what Dragonline Aladdin is. Yeah, I have watched Shinzo actually. Back when Jetix was still called ABC. No, Fox Family. Yeah, it wasn't even called ABC Family back then. It was called Fox Family. Then it got bought out by ABC. Let's see. When Toma rode on the carpet, I so would like to be. Oh wow! Of course you. Wonder World, where humans are disintegrated, where matches come about and kill everyone. I'm about to get hit by a copyright for this song. Story is looking gothic. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they've always looked kind of gothic, except for Zuos. He just looked like a Chad. Too many enemies regenerate from death this season in general. Yeah, I agree. Too much regeneration. I mean, at least in X8 it made sense, but here not so much. Dragon plus other Wonder Ride books. Yeah. Yeah, Wizard as well. 10 out of 10. I mean, to be fair, yeah, Wizard. Yeah, there's the 2 episodes, but it's more of a Decade episode than it is a Wizard episode. Let's be honest. It's literally Kamen Rider Decade Wizardo no Sekai. 10 out of 10 for this one. Taiwan's battle game rocks. CGI was great as well. Yes, this is what I want to see in a live-action JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This episode managed to be great in its own right while flexing a lot of long-running issues. Yes. Yeah, very on point. I want Zaz to not die and become an instructor. That seems to be how he is developing with Ren. Kind of. Again, I grew to like him in the last few episodes because of the whole Eddie and Venom relationship they've been having. You know, I really hope that there's going to be some element of misunderstanding where Zaz becomes a full babyface. But I have a feeling it won't be in the cards. Kamen Rider Fusion is an option. Maybe. By the way, sorry for going crazy in Love Struck. You always go crazy in Love Struck, let's be honest. Anyone wants Super Mega Force fixed? I can do it in 3 long sections. I think we've already done a lot of Mega Force fixing. I think if okay, look, here's the thing about Mega Force. It did a lot of things wrong. No fault goes on the actors. It was mostly in writing. It did one thing right. I'll give it credit where credit is due about that one thing. But I think if we're going to fix Megaforce, this is what I think should happen. 30th. Okay, first of all, let's assume for a moment that contract with Toei's renewed. We're gonna get more Sentai adaptations for Power Rangers moving forward. Season 30 of Power Rangers in the year 2023, which is in the cards. Its timeline still works. They're gonna adapt Dobutsu Sentai Juoja into a Power Rangers, and Juoja had a 2-part episode where they teamed up with the Gokaigers. So you're gonna have the Power Ranger Beast Blocks, whatever they're gonna be called, team up with the Megaforce team, and the Megaforce team are even gonna turn into Rangers from. They're even gonna turn into Rangers from previous seasons. Like the only issue is that they're gonna change. What's it called? The Train Ranger into Jungle Fury, which works by the way, because if I remember correctly, the Tokyuger that they transformed into was Tokyo Yongo, which means you could replace Yongo with Ryusou Green. So basically Jake will turn into Izzy, which works because they're both athletes. So you're going to do original footage like you did in the penultimate episode of Megaforce, but this time it will actually work in a way and not be cringy, fan service. So you got Dino Charge Pink, Beast Morphers Yellow, Dino Fury Green, and the Ninja Steel Blue. That way you have 4 teams, all 4 seasons from after Megaforce, and it works. So then And also, just like how that episode of that 40th anniversary, that it was a 40th anniversary of Sentai, 30th anniversary of Power Rangers. It's going to be the 5-year anniversary of Gokaiger, while the 10-year anniversary of Super Mega Force. And in this 2-part episode, we're going to have the Super Mega Force cast redeem their characters. Like after the bad writing from their season, they deserve better. This is a chance for the characters to redeem themselves, show how much they grew up. I mean, Gia, she already did with that episode of Ninja Steel. Don't get me wrong, but all the Rangers, all 6 Rangers coming back, and it's going to look amazing if they put it in the hands of good writing. It just, the timeline just fits. It works. There's no way you could screw this up, and I hope no one ever does. But the timeline, it fits for that crossover. But back to the comments though. Okay, so where was I? Warning, headcanon, though feasible. Yeah, I know you wrote this before. I went off on that round, but my headcanon is also feasible. Wrong stream for dude. Hey, don't worry about it. It's all good. I welcome all conversation about Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider. Just not Ultraman because I'm not an Ultraman expert. Just saying. I've seen a few seasons of Ultraman, but I don't claim to be as much of an expert or as big of a fan of Ultraman as Power Rangers, Super Sentai, and Kamen Rider. Just saying. Speaking of Honori Dikado, Saber is what Solomon would say. Sorry. Honori Saber! Yeah, you're in love with Toma. Yeah, okay, I will sue you. That way I'll get the money that the internet owes me for being right all the time. Except for the thing about May being, Espada because May was robbed. May was horribly robbed. Anyways, going back to the comments, fixing Megaforce, my pal and I are using Tokuger to clean the mess Super Mega Fail made. Yeah, but I think my way of doing it is a little cleaner. I'm not saying you shouldn't do your thing. Go ahead, do your thing. I'm just saying that sometimes you need a simple solution for a complicated problem, like the Gorgon's knot. We'll redeem the other Rangers when they meet our Tokugers. Again, I think Zyuohger is the best route to go with since they haven't adapted Zyuohgers yet, and they totally could, and there is stock footage for it. Gosei Carhermanian Pegasus found brother Goldark Chris Park Monkey lost one kept power. What? I have no idea what this is supposed to mean. Garo? Oh, I love Garo. I like Garo. I've watched the original Garo, the sequel, and the animated season, and the first season of the one with Tsukasa Kadoya. Thank you for thinking I'm cool. I apologize for any weird stuff. Oh, and thank you for agreeing with me. And that's it for the comments. I want to thank you all for sticking around for our review of Kamen Rider Saber, episode 40, Shining Friendship of the Three Swordsmen. Next week, we're going to cover episode 41, where secrets will be revealed about the past with the original 5 swordsmen. And of course, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to Morphin Network on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and sure to hit a ding the bell icon because YouTube algorithms are the real villains. Master Logos. So we got Disaster, Isaac, Storius, YouTube algorithm. And so be sure to follow all of our socials. We do shows every week. Also be sure to check out other shows on Morphin Network, such as Ranger Comic Time, where 2 of our members do Boom Studio comic reviews. Super Sentai Special, where another 2 members of our group review Super Sentai. This season, they're doing Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. And be sure to watch Ranger Podcast Live, where we review Power Ranger episodes as on the week after they air. And because 3 episodes of Netflix, 3 episodes were released on Netflix, that does mean that this Saturday we'll be reviewing episode 10 of Power Rangers Dino Fury. So be sure to check that out. And of course, we got a bunch of actor interviews in the past, so be sure to check those out. And you could find me on Twitch at, hold on, where's the thing? There it is. You can find me on Instagram at chrono_just_cosplay. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SpokenKabuto. And you can follow my partner, who's on here right now, on Instagram at _Fox. YouTube, Reckless_Fox, and you can find him on Twitch at twitch.tv/Reckless_Fox, where in one of our recent videos, he finally got a chance to play Kamen Rider Climax Hero 7, Climax Scramble GO. How did he do? Against someone who used to have the game and then hasn't played in 2 years? Watch the video and find out. Till then, guys, thank you for watching a Rider Time podcast, and I'll see you all next week. Until then, don't disappear for a good 11 years. Keep it cool. Bye.
Gokaiwa, 90s Kamen Rider. Henshin.
Between 1989 and 2000, Kamen Rider went into hiatus on television. However, there were still films and specials during this time.
Shin Kamen Rider The Prologue was a 1992 horror reboot where Shin Kazamatsuri mutates into an anthropomorphic grasshopper to fight his evil creators.
In 1993, Kamen Rider Zeto had Masaru Aso protect his creator's son from the Neo life form and its pseudo-solid proxy doors.
In 1984, Kamen Rider J had Koji Segawa resurrected by the forces of nature to rescue his sister from being sacrificed to Fogmother, and would later team up with Kamen Rider Zeto against Shadow Moon in Kamen Rider World.
15 years later, all 3 would return in the films Kamen Rider Decade, All Riders vs. Die Shocker, and Heisei Rider vs. Showa Rider, Kamen Rider War.
What the hell are you doing? Just go. See y'all next time.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Today's Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is now August the 27th to the 29th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia. And Ranger Stop Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.